Grita Radio. Señal binaria en tus oídos.
Hi, hello everybody, this is Axel Barcelo and we are back again on the air for Estante de Grita Radio. Mi nombre es Axel Barcelo and today I am having the chance to have a very nice conversation with Vanbot. Please welcome to Grita Radio.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Where are you connecting with us? Where in the world are you right now?
I'm in Sweden.
Oh, nice.
I used to live in Stockholm for a very long time, but I recently moved to a small town in a big house. So yeah, right now I'm in a small town called Lidköping.
Okay, I will not even try to repeat.
You don't know it? No.
No,
it's in the southern part of Sweden. Yeah.
Okay, good. But those two things commonly come together, right? Going to the towns and getting a bigger house. Was that something to do because you want to have a bigger studio, or is it not music related, your decision?
I don't think it's connected to music, because I mean Stockholm is music mecca in Sweden, so it was probably a bad choice in that way, but it has worked out really well to work from here. But the move was very spontaneous. We just accidentally get the chance to rent our dream house. It's just next to the lake and a big house with a big garden. So we were just during the pandemic, we were let's try. So we decided in 1 week, and so we just moved.
Oh, so then just move means how long?
400 kilometers.
Oh, no, but I mean, how long have you been there?
Oh, 1.5 years now.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that it is you just moved. Because of course, one of the mandatory questions we have to ask is what has been going on with you in these 6 years, right? Because it's been 6 years. We had you had your last album. So besides the pandemic, obviously, which I think was a factor.
the pandemic was just like a vacuum. But after my latest album, Siberia, I was very overworked. I'm an independent artist, 100% independent, and that means doing tons of work. You're not professional, but you do it anyway, because you just learn during the way. So yeah, that was a lot of work, and I really tried to do the best out of it, but I just got so tired. I just broke down after the release, and the music was not fun at all after that. So I just made a few shows and I backed out from the tours, and so I just did not do music for several years, and I just did other things because it wasn't fun anymore.
Was there any moment when you even doubted that you would ever return to recording and releasing and being a pop artist?
I don't think so, actually. I just needed time, and eventually I started writing again, when I felt better, because I've always been writing music since I was in my early teens, and I released my first album when I was in college under another artist name. So I've always been writing. It's my way of processing things and my ways to express, and I just love writing. That is the main reason that I'm doing this, because I just love to write music.
Yeah, but that is why I asked about becoming a performing and recording artist, because I know you would probably keep writing even if you were not on stage. But why did you know that you had to also record it and also bring it to the public, make the videos, make the release, the rest?
That's a good question, because that is also a lot of work. But I think when the music is played for an audience, then that's the end result. I mean, that's always the goal, the aim of writing music, connecting with someone, bonding with people. So it's included in the package of writing music. It wouldn't be fun just to write for myself, even though 90% of the songs are just for myself because they don't end up on the album. But yeah, the final destination is like connecting to an audience and hoping that someone will find something in the music that connects to them.
Well, I'm so glad that you feel better and that you're starting to release. So tell me why you chose this as the first single, because as you said, you're already been making so much music. What was so special about this to be the first single? I will never not have had you.
Yeah, I actually released another first single, Bored Like Me, and that was like the conceptual single. That was the rowdy little brother of the album, but this was the main single of the album. And I think when we recorded this song, we just felt like instantly like this is it. This is what we're gonna do, because we had been searching for a pretty long time, like how we're gonna produce these songs. And when we did this song, I Will Never Not Have Had You, we just felt like this is it. This is what we're gonna do. It's like a mix of melancholic and euphoric, and it's clubby, but it's very soft and fluffy, and we just loved that soundscape. So yeah, that was like instant love from us.
I like it that it also fits very well with the development of your previous music. But did you ever try to also like take this time to explore other sounds, like try something radically different from what we have heard from you?
No, I would say the opposite, because I think this album is like going full circle with my debut album. The writing process of this album, and also I think like how the melodies work and how they move, and the synthesizers. It's a lot of these productions and the writing process that is very similar to my debut album. So it's like going full circle, like now I'm back, and it feels a lot like home.
Oh, okay. So then why had you changed before? What was it in the latest music that you felt now alien or not as home as you feel in those early recordings?
I've been thinking about that. That's a good question. I think when I released my debut album, I was very proud of it, but I sometimes felt like it was too poppy, pop too, I don't know if that's the right word, but and I wanted to do something that more like suggestive. Do you say that word? Yeah.
Yes.
And making it a bit like moody. So we did the second album, and then I wanted to do just like an experiment, which was Siberia album. That was like totally an experiment of just writing and recording a full album on the Trans-Siberian Railway. So that was like my very
conceptual.
Yes, very conceptual and very like fluffy, and yeah, now it feels so good to be back home.
Oh, so yeah, it's like you try different things and now you realize that this is what you like the most, just the more direct pop melodies, and just so does that mean that the whole album is going to be very similar to these first two tracks?
No, it's hard for me to say because I'm like so in all these songs, but I would say yes, it's a fluffy electronic setting in all of them, but it's from everything from ballads to very like a beat based music. But I used to say like it's like standing outside the club at 3 a.m. as dawn breaks, being a bit miserable. but of course the songs are also very different. But
for a musician like you, I always wonder what came first, the singing songwriting or the electronic producing? They both came together at the same time? Since the beginning you wanted to be a singer of electronic pop music, or they came from different backgrounds?
For me, it's like working with the electronic soundscape is very connected to the writing. So it's like, finding a good sound on the synthesizer or a good beat. That is often the main reason for writing that song. So like when I hear that sound, it's like the song writes itself, because the sound carries so much in itself. So I would say, yeah, it's in that way, like just finding nice sounds.
Okay, so your voice is also, you also consider it like another sound, or does it hold a special place in the composition?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think like the voice is also like, of course, an instrument, and how you shape the sound is also very connected to like, and I would say also like how the melodies work combined with that specific sound. Because I mean, if you have like a very moody sound, then it's nicer to mix it up with something lighter instead of just going all moody. And at the same time, like if you're having a very happy song, then it's like music-wise happy song, then it's more interesting to write like a sad lyric about it, to have some contrasts in it, I think, and
Also balance, right?
Yeah, balance, and yeah, just to draw the shapes.
Okay, but then that means that the vocals and the lyrics are there also have to be balanced with the music. I get that. But did you have a problem with it being in English? Did you always write in English? Did you always knew that you wanted to sing and write in English? Or did you ever try in your native language?
I've written one song in Swedish, and that was for my sister's wedding, I think. That is the only one. I think it's a way of hiding, actually, because in English, of course, also I listen mostly to English music or to English lyrics, but when writing in Swedish, it's very I feel just so undressed, like it's so it's a bit too close. And also the Swedish language isn't that fluid as the English language, so it's harder to express music-wise and lyric-wise in Swedish, I think, compared to English.
But did you learn English like since very, very young also? I don't know enough about the Swedish culture. I don't know how common.
No, but we learn English in school from early ages. And then also, you know, popular culture is always in English. So, you know.
And the same for music? Did you start learning music since very young?
Yeah, I cannot even remember like when starting, because I've always been playing in my family since I was very young. But it was like in my teens, and also when moving to Stockholm, when I started to make it like serious, because I'm from a very, very small village, like out in the countryside, and everybody is doing music, but nobody is doing it professional. Even though they are really, really good at it, because there are no like professional musician works, no possibilities to work with that. So for me, that was a huge step just to do it professional. Yes, and I wouldn't do it if I stayed in my home village.
Do you have any
I needed the bigger city.
Do you have any hypotheses of why Sweden has this tremendous musical power over the world? Like why is there so much good music?
Yeah.
I mean, and so many people connecting with it?
Historically, we've had a lot of like culture school that's been like for free or almost for free, and where you can borrow instruments for like almost nothing, and it's very encouraged. But unfortunately, that is changing. So now it's not so easy. It's more like for the rich people to put their kids in music school. Not really, but more like that. Because when I was young, everybody could play, and that I think that is a really big reason for the music climate here. And also we have like, this would be hard for me to explain, but we have like this community-based school, which is like, no matter the age, no matter where you come from, you can like have one of these groups and learn things together, and you can get funding for that, which makes like a grassroots music or culture or anything. You can learn things with other people who enjoy it, and I think that also creates a lot of new music and culture.
But it also makes music more communal. So that is why I want to ask you about what was your community this time? I mean, who did you collaborate? Who supported you to make this record? Because I assume you didn't do it all on your own,
No.
Machines and.
No, I've been working with one of my closest friends, Samuel Stark. He's a super producer and like a synthesizer wizard. He's one of the best in Sweden, and we've been touring together before and writing music, but we haven't worked for like a full album. So now we like decided we have to do this. So me and Samuel Stark has been doing this.
And what did you find in him that made you trust him so much to give him such a central place in this new album?
I know him very, very well. So I trust him 100%. But I just love the way he also works with synthesizers. He's a big inspiration. And he's also very supportive to me, because that is also a gender question. Like walking into the studio, it's a typical male room, you know. And even though I've been doing music and I've been working with technical gear for so long, it's so easy to let the technical and these tasks over to the guy. And I've really been struggling with that, because I do it when I'm in my studio, I do everything. But with Samuel, he's so supportive, and he loves my ideas, and we're doing this together. And I don't sit there, we're doing this 100% together. And that is also so much fun and very, that it has been like a learning process also.
So you've had bad experience where male producers just wouldn't let you like participate?
No, I've been working with very good people, but more or less it's like that. It's the studio is more like the guy's nest.
Okay, so what was there in these studios that you couldn't do in your home studio?
I think he's got a lot of more synthesizers and his studio is better than mine also. So I guess, I mean, I've been working a lot in my studio too, but for this, I brought my favorite synthesizers or my favorite modular synthesizers to his place. And then we did everything there.
So yeah, so you're also more like a hardware person than a software person?
Yes. I've become, like in the beginning, I started working with software instruments because I couldn't afford the analog synthesizer, not the hardware synthesizers. But now I'm only working with hardware or analog.
Oh. And most of your hardware is analog. You don't like it?
Yeah. I use like digital synthesizers too, of course. But I'm increasing my analog gear.
Okay, and so how has the response been so far with this opening single? How's the video going? What have you gotten as feedback from this?
Yeah, very good, very good. I'm so happy because it's like putting your heart in the hand and giving it, and you never know what the reaction will be. But I'm so happy and overwhelmed because I've had so much nice response and personal messages and direct messages that like tell their life story and why they connect so much to this song, and that means so much to me.
Is that the highest compliment, or do you remember what has been the highest compliments you've received in your career musically?
Well, I think that is what getting these personal messages, that means a lot. Because that is also so nice and brave of them to tell me and to open up. But I think like when you ask like the biggest compliment, I remember on my debut album, I didn't have any PR or anything. I just released it and I thought that my friends would listen and maybe someone else. And I remember when The Guardian wrote like a 2-page piece about it, and I was like, what is this? And that was like, I was walking on air that day.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for your time. This has been really, really fun. And of course, we are very happy here in Mexico, and I hope you will be able to see you perform live one time or another. Is there
I hope to be back.
Anything else you want to say to the audience from Mexico before we sign off?
No, I'm just so happy that you're listening and enjoying it. And I really hope to be back in Mexico.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Nice talking to you.